Are you looking for a hardcore solo self-found build that has a safe, fast and buttery smooth playstyle? With over 40k evasion rating, 60% dodge chance and an 8000 effective life pool, this character might just be what you're looking for. What's up everybody, thanks for pulling up. I'm SlyderBB and this is my take on a Toxic Rain Tricky Boy. Let's get to it. Toxic Rain is a notoriously good skill due to its low gear requirements and late game boss killing potential. Paired with the defensiveness and utility of the Trickster Ascendancy, the character quickly turns into a formidable map clear and bossing speedster. This character was made in my friend's 5-man hardcore private league and was quickly pushed into the endgame on a small budget. With the +3 to gems bow being the only tricky item to acquire, the rest of the gear can be made up of various rare pieces, focused on high life and resistance rolls to reduce our chance of death in red maps. Toxic Rain fires a barrage of arrows into the air that land on the ground after a short delay. Spores are then created at the arrow locations, dealing chaos damage over time and exploding once their duration has expired. The damage over time from these pods can overlap, making this an effective single target skill. To take advantage of this mechanic, we stack chaos damage, damage over time, and attack speed modifiers. Doing so increases the damage over time from the spore pods, as well as the maximum amount of pods we can have on an enemy at a time. Alongside this, we place a wither totem and self-cast our despair curse on tougher mobs, bumping our DPS up to around 4 million against single targets. Hello again everyone, thanks for making it this far into the video. I hope you've had a good day. I just wanted to let you guys know that I stream as often as I can. If you want to come watch me making these builds or playing them live, you can come check me out on twitch.tv/SlyderBB. Come watch me rip and remake over and over again. I just wanted to also invite you to leave a like on this video if you find yourself enjoying it at any point. I also want to invite you to leave a comment if you have any criticisms about it, because at the end of the day I really want to make this the best possible viewing experience for you guys, and I need feedback. I need to know what you guys want to see, so yeah, just wanted to get that out there. But anyway, enough jibber jabber, we'll get straight into it. So this is my Toxic Rain Trickster. It's in 97, and yeah, I guess we'll start off with the defensive tab. As you can see, we've got 10,000 evasion rating, 48% evade chance, and 40% dodge chance. Now, with all Flasks active and stuff like Elusive and Wind Dancer from our tree, these numbers get much higher, so our evasion actually gets to about 45,000, and our dodge chance while mapping is more or less always 65%, 60 to 65%. All this coupled with 6,000 life and 1,700 energy shield, it makes for a really beefy character. Like, I don't think I've had one close call yet. With that being said, we'll get straight into the tree, I guess. So for Toxic Rain, you basically have two options. You can either play Trickster or Pathfinder. You could make Ascendant work, 100% you could make it work, but I feel like it's just a watered down version of either of the two options. Being hardcore and more or less solo self-found, I've decided to go for Trickster. So first off, we went for Patient Reaper. This gives damage over time, lots of recovery on kill, and increased recovery rate if we've killed with damage over time recently. Because we're using Toxic Rain, that final buff is always active, and it's a really nice node, especially while you're going through the story. You feel so much tanker because every single enemy you kill is recovering your life, your energy shield, and your mana. So super good first node, would highly recommend taking this first. So after this, we went for Prolonged Pain. This gives skill effect duration and more damage over time. This is really nice for our Toxic Rain, because skill effect duration makes it do damage for longer and increases the amount we can actually have up overlapping on a target, and more damage over time. It's a lot of damage, big multiplier for us. Now after Prolonged Pain, we go for Ghost Dance. This gives evade chance while you have energy shield, move speed while you have energy shield, and it allows us to get Ghost Shrouds. These are generated every 2 seconds, up to a maximum of 3. Yeah, and per Ghost Shroud you get 2% reduced damage taken, and it also allows each Ghost Shroud to be expended when you're hit, and it regenerates 4% of your evasion rating as energy shield. So with all our buffs and our flasks up, it regens about between 1000 energy shield and 1500, so really good defensive node when you have your chest, when you have all your evasion rating, you know, when you have all your gear sorted out. This is super nice. Now after Ghost Dance we go for Escape Artist. This gives stun immunity while you have Ghost Shrouds, spell dodge while you have energy shield, and attack and cast speed while you have Ghost Shrouds, but more importantly it gives evasion rating based on the energy shield you have on your helmet, and it gives energy shield based on the evasion rating you have on your chest piece. We'll refer back to this later when we're going through the gear, but those two are super important defensively. Both of these nodes more or less work in tandem. I'd highly recommend at whatever point you take Ghost Dance, you immediately go for Escape Artist after. So if you want to take Patient Reaper first and then Ghost Dance second, I'd recommend then going for Escape Artist and then finally Prolonged Pain. But it's completely up to you. If you feel safe, or you're a competent, good hardcore player, or even if you're in softcore, go Prolonged Pain second and then finally go for your Ghost Shroud nodes. With the Ascendancy out of the way, we'll go through the tree. Not much to say, it's pretty stock standard for a damage over time bow build, but if we start from the top, we've got Atrophy. This is a good damage over time cluster. On the right here, we've got Phase Echo and Acrobatics. Dodge chance, really nice, mandatory, always take. Down the bottom, we got Wind Dancer. Again, really good. It gives less damage less damage from hits if you haven't been hit recently. And then when you do get hit, it gives you 20% more evasion. Insanely good, especially while coupled with the dodge mechanic. The 40% less evasion rating is kind of counteracted with dodge chance. So really nice node if you've got a high dodge chance. Between all these nodes, we've just taken life, damage over time, and attack speed. We'll go through it real quickly. So we got Written in Blood, good hybrid cluster, life and energy shield. Really nice. Growth and Decay. This is just a damage over time wheel with a bit of life regen. Can't hurt. We have No Witnesses. This gives us elusive on kill. Insane for mapping. If you want to map fast, if you want to move fast, if you want more dodge, this is mandatory. You should absolutely take this. Coming down, we've just taken Lethal Assault for damage, Resourcefulness for a bit of life, bit of energy shield. Blood Drinker on the right here, good life node, nice. We've taken Hunter's Gambit. This gives good damage over time. Skill Effect Duration, again, really good modifier, really good cluster to take. To the left, we got Revenge of the Hunted. This gives life and evasion rating, again, really nice, both good stats. Moving down, we got Survivalist. This gives attack evade and good evasion rating. We've also taken Herbalism and Heart of Oak. This just gives good life and a bit of life recovery from Flasks. It can't hurt. Really nice. We've also come down through the Archer wheel and taken Master Fletcher, as well as Aspect of the Eagle and Ballistic Mastery. This is just good damage nodes. It gives damage over time. Aspect of the Eagle gives a bit of move speed, a little bit of flat life. Nice. We've also taken Primal Spirit. This is mainly for the strength and intelligence. Being on this side of the tree, it can be hard to get these stats. If you have enough strength, or you just need one of the two stats, I'd recommend taking one of these 30-point nodes here. But because I need both, I've had to take both. I've had to take this Primal Spirit node. We come out to the left here to get some life and evasion rating. Good stats. Down next to our Wind Dancer Keystone node, we have Thick Skin. This cluster gives just life and alley avoidance. Really good. To the left, we have Farsight. This whole cluster just gives damage over time and attack speed. Both incredibly strong nodes for us. To the left, we've come up into Avatar of the Hunt. This gives damage over time, evasion rating, move speed, cooldown reduction of movement skills, damage. It's just really good cluster. All the minor nodes as well give evasion rating as well, so really good cluster. When we move to the left here, we've got Art of the Gladiator, bit of attack speed. We've taken Bravery. This gives life and evasion rating, really nice. And then we've come up into these small nodes up here. These just give life and evasion rating as well. So yeah, mostly you really just want to go for your big keystones, your big nodes, to the bottom, the right, and the top up at atrophy. And then in between, you want to get as much life and damage over time as possible. And evasion where it's convenient. Yeah, everything where it's convenient, but and evasion as well. With the tree down, we'll go through our items and the gems we have in those items. So we'll start off with the bow first. Using Essences of Dread, you can guarantee +2 to socketed bow gems when it's used on a bow. Now, ideally you want this +2 and the +1. The +1 is actually really common on bows, so it's not too hard to get. And anything else you can get other than those +3 to socketed gems is a bonus. So I managed to get attack speed, and then I crafted on chaos damage over time multiplier. If you can get +2, +1 gems and damage over time multiplier, you can craft chaos damage over time multiplier, or you can craft attack speed. It's up to you. It's up to what you roll on the bow, but this is what I happened to hit. So yeah, I just crafted on the chaos dot multi and we're away. So to enhance our Toxic Rain the most, we socketed it in this bow to increase its level by 3. So we have Toxic Rain, Vicious Projectiles, Mirage Archer Support, Void Manipulation, and Swift Affliction. And finally we have damage on full life. There's arguments to be made here that Empower would be better, and indeed in most cases it is, especially if it's level 4. But after mucking around on POB and stuff, I've just found damage on full life works for me, especially because with Trickster we regenerate so much energy shield constantly. We have Ghost Shroud, we're constantly dodging, we're rarely taking damage from our life. We're always on full life, so this is really effective. Yeah. Moving on to our helmet. Because of the node we said before in the Trickster Ascendancy, with Escape Artist you get 5 evasion rating per 1 energy shield on your helmet. So even though this helmet has no evasion rating on it, it's actually giving us 3000 evasion rating. Really good. So get as much of energy shield as you can on it, and then try to get as much life, and then resist, in that order. The most important thing is your energy shield, because you want that evade chance. You want evasion rating so you can regen your energy shield when you get hit. Socketed in here we have Wither, Spell Totem Support, Multiple Totem Support, and Faster Casting. Wither increases the chaos damage taken by 6% per stack. Now we automate this by linking it with Spell Totem and Multiple Totems. So this means I think up to 3 totems will be casting Wither on an enemy with faster casting supported. So really quickly they'll be at max stacks of Wither, increasing our damage a ton. Really important, especially for single target. You want this setup. There's other ways to apply Wither, but this is the most effective way I found. So yeah, that's the helmet. The quiver, ideally you want a hunter influence base. This is because you can roll damage over time multiplier and chaos damage over time multiplier. As you can see on this quiver, we've just got damage over time multiplier and life. Now I know additional arrows sounds good, but adding extra arrows to Toxic Rain also vastly increases the spread. So additional arrows, unless you have insane AoE, it doesn't actually increase your single target. It's just going to increase your clear, which is nice, but it's not an affix worth aiming, right? You just want your chaos damage over time multiplier, you want your life, and you want to sort out your resistance or craft some attack speed like I have, or you can chop and change it. It's so flexible with all the gear. You can just do whatever you want. So moving on to the amulet, we've got Hunter Influence base. We managed to get chaos damage over time multiplier, which is quite easy. We got life, and we also got +1 to level of all chaos spell gems. Because of harvest crafting, this was made very easy. In future leagues it will not be this easy, but ideally you just want your damage over time multiplier, your life, and your resists. And I would highly recommend with Toxic Rain crafting minus mana cost to non-channeling skills, because with all the attack speed we have and the low mana pool we have, it can be very hard to sustain the mana cost. Yeah, so with 3 of those crafts, you can see our mana isn't even going down, it's barely going down. And as soon as we let go for a second, it goes to full again. So I would highly recommend getting that on all your jewellery. For both rings, life and resists, that's all you want. I multi-modded this, shouldn't have, but I did it. I've still got like 10x on the solo Southbound character, so I thought why not. But yeah, life and resists, get your stats here where you can, get some strength, get some intelligence so you can max out your gems like your efficacy or your spell totem, your wither, your spell totem. You just want stats, life, resists on your rings, and then you want to be able to craft your minus mana cost, the most important. Moving to the boots, move speed, life, resists, harvest crafting, tailwind, guaranteed. Future leagues, it's not going to be easy to get tailwind, but because of the league we're in, it's been made a lot easier. It's not by any means necessary. It just helps a little bit. If you manage to get a crit off of one of your pod explosions, you will get tailwind and you'll move a bit faster, but it's not necessary at all. The jewels in the boots, we have dash, second wind support, despair, and steel skin. Steel skin we actually use on our left click, so this means as we're running around and when it comes off of cooldown, we get a 1500 shield. It's not amazing, it's not game changing, but it's just a nice little layer. As you can see, it refreshes quite fast with second wind support, so it's just a nice little bonus as you're running around. And it also adds a charge to our dash and reduces the cooldown of our dash, so we can, just helps our speed a little bit. Moving on to the belt, high life, high resists. Stygian Vise is probably the best bet here because of the jewel socket. You can get a searching eye jewel. This will give the option to get onslaught on kill. So as you can see, we've got 6% chance to gain onslaught for 4 seconds. You want this roll and a life roll. That's it. Anything else is a bonus. We got some mana regen, some terrible rolls really. You just want onslaught and life. That's basically it. The gloves, again, Hunter Influence. This allows you to get chaos damage over time multiplier. After you get that, you want life and resists. That's it. With most of the gear, life, resists, and then chaos damage over time multiplier if you can. And finally the chest piece. As you can see, it's 6 linked. With the bow, we actually managed to 6 link ourselves, but with the chest we farmed, I think it's Dapper Prodigy, the div card, and we managed to get it on a Sadist Garb. Sadist Garb is the best hybrid base that you'd want because it allows for the biggest number of evasion and energy shield. So again, we'll refer back to the Escape Artist node. We get 1 energy shield per 6 evasion on body armor. So you want as much evasion as you can, as well as however much energy shield you can. And you want to make sure there's an open prefix so you can craft the 10% of maximum life as maximum extra energy shield. I can't actually unequip this now to show you how much because our items go all poo poo, but this chest alone, even though it says only 390 energy shield, it gives us about 1500 ES. So it's incredible, alright? You just want your Sadist Garb and then use fossils or chaos spam, whatever you can to get as much evasion rating as possible. Socketed in here we have Caustic Arrow. You don't have to have a 6-link Caustic Arrow on this build. You could go more defensive and run an Immortal Core setup. You could do a Frenzy, Curse on Hit, Despair, GMP, Pierce setup. There's so many other things you could do. I've just opted for Caustic Arrow because what we've scaled in the tree and on our gear, it helps it so much. With Caustic Arrow we have Vicious Projectile support, Swift Affliction support, Efficacy, Void Manipulation, damage on full life, just damage over time stuff, and on bosses we'll drop our totem, we'll curse with our Despair Curse, then we'll just chuck a Caustic Arrow out and spam Toxic Rains, and every few seconds or so we'll chuck another Caustic Arrow out. For auras we have Clarity, This just gives us a bit of regen to help sustain in between Toxic Rain shots. We have Summon Skitterbots, Malevolence, and Flame Golem. If it's still early days on your character, or if you feel like you're getting hit too much, I'd recommend swapping out Skitterbots for Flesh and Stone. Flesh and Stone is a strength gem that applies blind to anyone near you. So it's just an incredible defensive layer. It gives you so much evasion chance. If you haven't sorted out all of your gear, if you don't have much evasion, I'd recommend using Flesh and Stone until you sort out all your defenses, and then you can swap to Skitterbots just for that multiplier, the shock multiplier. Finally, we'll go into Flasks. Ideally, you want an instant bleed removal. I've just noticed this isn't instant. I guess that shows how defensive it is. I haven't been in desperate need of life at all on this character for the whole 1 to 2 weeks I've been playing it. But this should be instant bleed removal. Moving to the right, we have a Basalt Flask. I opted to take this just for when our evasion and our dodge fails to work. We have a bit of a tougher skin to take some hits just in case. We put out a shock immune suffix on that. Moving to the right, we have a Quartz Flask. This gives us phasing. It allows us to run through packs, being a damage over time build and packs not dying instantly. Phasing is incredibly good, especially for map speed, but also for safety reasons. You won't find yourself stuck in the middle of a pack while they're dying, so incredibly important. Gives dodge chance as well, and we have our curse removal on here. Next up, we have our Jade Flask. This gives 3000 evasion rating. Absolutely mandatory to get the increased evasion rating during Flask effect on the suffix. This Flask alone gives us 20,000 evasion rating, so you can be flexible with the prefix. You can do whatever you want there, but you need that evasion rating suffix. And finally, we have our move speed Flask. This has our freeze and chill removal. Not much else to say. If you manage to get 100% elemental ailment avoidance, you could swap this out to a Alchemist Quicksilver Flask of Adrenaline. There's a few affixes you can get on it that make you incredibly speedy, but because we're not elemental avoidance capped, we have to use freeze and chill on here. Yeah, that's going to be it for the character. If you stuck around this long, thank you so much. I appreciate you. If you want to like or subscribe, feel free to do that. If you have any criticisms, suggestions, if you want to tell me what to play next, if you want me to make a video for something you want to hear about, if you want to know how much my beanie costs, anything, if you want to know my cat's name, let me know. I want to talk to you guys. I promise I'll respond. I want to grow on this, and I can only do that with your input and talking to you guys. I want to know you guys. I want to know what you guys want to see. So with that being said, thank you so much for watching. This is my Toxic Rain Trickster, and I'll see you next time. I'll see you on the beach.